When did you know that Beat the GMAT was more than just a hobby? So let me go back in time a little bit and provide some background on Beat the GMAT's founding story. So I want you to put a little bit of a picture in your mind of what I was like back in 2005 as I was sitting in my dorm room, staring at my sociology degree, tears rushing down my face as I realized that I had not majored in computer science or economics, and sociology wasn't the easiest degree to find a job. I guess it still isn't the easiest degree to find a job right out of college. However, I was not despondent. I knew that I wanted to do something related to business, so I did what everyone told me to do, which was to consider applying for an MBA program. The problem, though, was that I was broke, as most college students are when they're at the end of their college education. And since I didn't have any money, I didn't have any resources to purchase a prep course to take the GMAT test, which is the exam required for MBA admissions. And so I decided to start a blog called Beat the GMAT on Blogspot and document my journey in preparing for the GMAT test as a self-studier. So this might not sound like the most thrilling blog in the world. It's not like TMZ where I was talking about Kim Kardashian and all that stuff. But for whatever reason, my blog really did capture the interest of a niche audience of people who are in a similar situation to myself, looking for ways to self-study for the test and so forth. And it was a hobby to begin with. I never intended to turn Beat the GMAT into a business, but the community started to develop, the readership developed. We turned Beat the GMAT from a blog into a discussion forum a year after I launched it, and then a forum into a social network. And it sort of just slowly evolved over 8 years into different offerings. And before you knew it, we had pretty much captured the entire MBA applicant market. And once you have that community, it becomes a lot easier, or you have a lot more options in terms of monetization and developing a robust business. So, I guess the point where I realized that Beat the GMAT was more than a hobby was the day that I quit my job I was working full time as a product manager. I was able to find a job as a sociology major at a tech company, and I saw that I was making more money from Beat the GMAT than I was from my day job. And that's when I knew that this was going to be a real business. And even more than that, that I had completely mitigated a big chunk of the risk as being an entrepreneur and validating that I had a real business. So kind of an implicit lesson here from what I'm saying. I'm a big believer in side projects. So there's a school of belief that's pretty common, and there's some validity in it too, that if you want to be an entrepreneur, it's a full force thing. You have to put 100 hours a week into your baby. But I didn't do that for 3.5 years. I kind of let the site evolve and grow profitably. Maybe not at the exponential rate that an angel or a VC would want me to see, but it grew steadily. And only when I was making enough money, or the business was at a sufficient level of success, was I able to then go full time on my startup. And it was a really good move in hindsight, by accident, not by design, but it just so happened to work out that way.